Okay. Fran, you tell me when you're ready.
I am ready.
Okay. Right. We will call the regular city council meeting Thursday, January 16th to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I believe Lawrence, you'll be offering us a word of prayer.
Thank you, Lord, for today. And thank you, Lord, for the week. Thank you for this wonderful holiday. Thank you for the new year. And we thank you for the time that we get to spend with friends and family. For this new year, we do pray for your presence with us and with our city council and staff and also our citizens. Help us all to come together as one and direct the city with a vision that you inspire us with. We pray it in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to move on to item number 3, which is a public hearing. The Port Aransas City Council will conduct a public hearing on the following. Plan 2414, preliminary and final plat of the Blue Marlin subdivision, block 1, lots 1, 2, plan being of plat 15.648 acres out of the existing 24.582 acre tract comprising of portions of lot 1 through 3, 8 through 10, blocks 49 and 50. Lots 4 through 7, block 48, State Land Surveys, Mustang Island, Nueces County, Texas, as shown on the map of public land and on Mustang Island dated May 1945, as filed in the General Land Office in Austin, Texas. Said lots 3 to 5, block 51, and also being referenced in a land award and a receipt from the state of Texas on behalf of the Permanent School Fund to MDW Financial Limited Partnership in a document number 2013033412. Recorded in its official public records of Nueces County, Texas. The applicant is Gabriel Goodman, Blue Marlin Holdings LLC, and the property location is the 2900 block off of 11th Street. Anyone here that wish to speak during the public hearing? Ms. Daly, you can come forward.
Daily, 619 Avenue B. When I saw this, it brought to mind that we wanted to make the entrance into the community more beautiful, aesthetically pleasing. That area is very open, used to have like grasses and things. I don't know if subdivisions like this work with the landscape ordinance, but one good thing about Cinnamon Shores is they put nice landscaping along the road. They put fences, they put palm trees, they put Elaeagnus and greenery. And that just looks like a big old naked sore right now. So also I was on one of the few roadside pickups that I've been involved in, was up in that area. The bar ditches were, I think that's what you call them, big ditches, great big ditches, really collected a lot of litter. And so that is something that I think needs to be addressed, because when you've got a deep ditch like that next to the road, it can really catch a lot of trash. And it was very hard to clean up in those ditches. And you always got to think there'd be alligators coming out of the nature preserve. So I hope, and there's snakes too, if it's in the wrong season. So I'm hoping that these folks will submit to the city a nice landscape plan for a long 361 and look to Cinnamon Shores for a nice example. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wish to speak during the public hearing? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing, move on to item 4, which is citizen comments and reports. We have 2 people signed up. Ms. Daly, would you like to come back before you get back in your seat and all settled?
I was glad to see way far back in the staff reports that you're looking at update on signage wayfinding signage, and code of ordinances signs. And there's a lot to be desired in our signage around Port Aransas. Most obvious is the big billboards along the road. I know that some of them are commercial business, the big ones, but some of them are like on other businesses' properties, off premises of the business that's being advertised. And I think that does not add to our village. Some of the buildings, some of the businesses that are advertised, I think are even out of business. I think I've seen things for Woody's. And I think it would be much better if someone has a business like Island Construction with that's, or the substation, electric substation. It's much better to hide that fencing, that chain link fencing with shrubbery. And any of those businesses can certainly afford to do that now. They've been in business long enough. We don't need off-premises billboards because the off-premises billboards are all for very successful businesses. They're not for young, struggling businesses. They're well-established. And if these businesses haven't made enough money by now, they should give up and leave. Thank you.
All right. Michelle Sowers, you're next.
Michelle Sowers, and I'm here on behalf of the Port Aransas Boatmen's Association, and we saw where you guys are wanting to put in a Mariners Memorial. We think it's a wonderful idea, long overdue, and we would like to offer our support in any case as the plans come to fruition. Just let us know how we can help.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to the consent agenda. There are city council meeting minutes from November, December in the consent agenda, and a second reading on the ordinance regarding hotel motel tax and occupancy advisory committee. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, Fran, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Minton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers,
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Mayor Moore,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, we'll move on to items for consideration. We'll start with item C. It's a resolution awarding a request for proposal RFP to the beach concessionaire agreement beginning February 1st, 2025 and ending December 31st, 2026. Granting the term and renewal dates, setting locations of said service, date, time, and operations, equipment, rental rates, concession percentage payment to the city, collection and sale of beach parking and camping permits, and directing the city manager to sign any and all contract documents associated with said agreement.
So we put out an RFP for beach concession agreement since our contract with Southern Coast expired in December 31st. And we had one response from Bronze Beach Rentals. I think it's pretty standard compared to what it's been in the past. In the past, we have allowed, and they can put on their proposal, if they would like to keep more money when they sell a permit from a golf cart mobile sales. And they did not want to do that. They just want to keep $1 for each permit sold. So kind of better than we've had in the past. They have a listing of what kind of items they're going to carry. And we do have a representative here to talk to y'all. Sure.
Hello, how are you?
Nice to see you guys. This is something that Ron did a couple of years ago, and we thought we'd do it again, if you guys will allow us.
And do you have beach experience?
Just a little bit. And I'll be the one managing it. Ron.
It's good news. Welcome back. We appreciate the fact that Bron and you are willing to come back and participate and be a beach concessionaire. It's a hard job.
It's gonna be.
That's why
fun.
we don't have 12 people trying to do it. So
We
we
know.
appreciate that.
It's gonna be
Yes.
difficult, but we'll do it. We'll do a good job.
Yeah, definitely. Does anybody have any other questions for Mr. Etheridge or any concerns or questions about the application? Ready to start February 1st?
Well, we're gonna just be quick, but we're gonna try.
When do they start, Darla? Yeah, they do spring break, but then it stops, doesn't it? And then it kicks back up
They
and
have the hours required. Let me see, it's on page. Yeah, starting May
It probably
first on
said that.
weekends. So it's on page 50.
oh, there it is. Yes, May 1st to Labor Day weekend. Yeah.
And after Labor Day, weekend hours from noon to on Friday to Sunday at noon, all weekends in September during spring break and Santa Fe.
Yeah.
They don't have to operate in April and May, all weekends. In
Cool.
April, not all weekends, May 1st. they have to
Yeah.
start.
If it's a
Right.
good weekend where people are there, you guys will make the decision to go out.
Oh, yeah. For
If
sure.
it's great weather and there's like.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing for our visitors.
Will you have spots at 2 of the
We're
entrances? So-
planning is 1A and G.
Okay, the normal. Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this agreement for the concessions and beach rentals to Bronze.
I'll second.
All right. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Winton,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, item D is discuss and take action on Plan 2414 preliminary and final plat of the Blue Marlin subdivision, Block 1, Lots 1 and 2. Applicant is Gabriel Goodman, Blue Marlin Holdings LLC.
Okay, so this was a preliminary plat that was originally brought to the city and approved back in 2022, the end of 2022. That was for the Nud subdivision and 3 lots in the adjacent property. So the Nud subdivision, we split that off. That was approved, got built out. The 3 lot subdivision that included the RV park, it was going to have some houses in the front and then a vacant lot in between the Texan and the front lot, was approved then as a phased development. So they wanted to phase out the first lot so that they could sell that, maybe get some development going, and then come back for the other 2 lots. We worked through, we had a set of civil plans, we were ready to get going. They decided that they wanted to scale down their civil plans a little bit. And so to do that, they needed to reorient the lot. So that required the preliminary plat to change just a little bit. So when they submitted the final plat, it was a different orientation than the original approval, which is why they had to come back with a new preliminary plat. So what you're looking at now is just a revision of that. Not much has changed to the lot. The lot size has changed, and then the way that that is oriented has, but it's been fully approved by our city engineer. All of the utilities agree that it's still workable the way that it is, and city staff recommends approval.
So when you say they're reducing the actual size of the RV park as well?
Correct.
Do you
So
know
that
what-
RV park was
Right.
going to stretch across the whole length of 11th Street. Now it is just on the southern
side of
portion
the-
of
The southern portion,
So
okay.
it's just
Yeah.
gonna be, if you look at the plat, it's just gonna be that. I can't remember if it's called lot 1 or lot 2. If it's too little to read.
Then it kind of cut off in the middle of the package, so it was hard to.
They don't print right for you
Nah,
guys.
didn't,
I'm not
that
sure.
definitely didn't print right in the package, so.
But anyway, it is gonna be that southern lot. The other lot is gonna, remain not a part of that project for now.
That's
Which-
the RV park.
The RV park is gonna be on the southern lot where David's drawing that portion in.
Okay.
The remaining frontage on Highway 361 and then the northern frontage on 11th Street is gonna remain vacant.
And then if they have another plan, they come
If
back.
they
and-
want to
right.
come in for a second phase of that RV park, that would be allowable. If they wanted to come in for a different development on the Highway 361 side, also developable.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions for Nicole? or staff? I don't see any of their engineers or anybody here, so. Okay. Do I have a motion?
Oh, sorry. I'll make a motion. Take action on Plan 2414 preliminary and final plat of the Blue Marlin subdivision blocks 1, lots 1 and 2. Applicant Gabriel Goodman, Blue Marlin Holdings LLC, property location 200 block of 11th Street.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, Fran, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Pro Tem Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford.
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item E, resolution authorizing the submission of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Boating Access Grant application for the design and permitting for a park with paddling access, authorizing matching funds not to exceed 84,000 for fiscal year 25, and authorizing the city manager to act as the executive officer and authorized representative of the city in all matters pertaining to the city's participation in the Texas Parks and Wildlife Grant Program. Welcome, Ray. And great job again this morning.
Thank you. Thank you guys for
I know,
coming.
I'm sorry I
It was
missed
awesome. Yeah. Well, you have to get on the trail.
I know I need to look.
And the weather was finally nice. So
Yes.
that was good. Yeah, so this is for the property down by the water tower on the southern end of the city limits. And this money has been budgeted for several years. For whatever reason, the grant had been kept getting pushed back of when they were to open it up. So the money is budgeted already, and this is for design and engineering and permitting for the paddling part of the project. And it was not clear when, if we got chosen, when the grant would start. They couldn't give me like a real good date on that, but we worked with Half and Associates on a conceptual design, which is included. That doesn't necessarily need to be what we end up designing, but if we get the grant, we'll start looking at that more closely. They already did a wetland delineation of the project as well, so before they kind of came up with the design.
What's the anticipated time frame?
Yeah, so I'm assuming the grant would probably start this summer. They couldn't give me a really clear date on that. And then the permitting, depending on, there are wetlands in the area, but we were trying to avoid those. So that's kind of drawn here. The wetlands are in the green. So the permitting will take a few years. And then the way this grant program works is they pay 75% for the design and the permitting, but then they're also kind of committing to moving into the construction phase. So that's a huge amount to help build this, because it's anything involved with the boating part of it, that paddling, roads, any infrastructure involving that. Now in our drawing, we have other things, a little playground and trails that would have to be either a different grant or city funds. But so yeah, the construction would still be a few years out because of the permitting process, I would assume. So,
Okay. But this gets us started.
yeah, and the Parks and Wildlife boating access people, they're probably supportive of all the projects, but they seemed excited about it. And we would be tying into the Mustang Island paddling trail that already exists at Texas Parks and Wildlife. So they seemed real happy about another access point that's going to be free as well. Because, some of the, like the private Island Moorings Marina, people like to put in their stuff there, but they might have to pay to park and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be a good project. So part of the grant requirement is a resolution authorizing us to apply. And then that we are going to meet the financial obligations of the city, which this was already budgeted this year. So we might have to push it forward if starts this summer into next fiscal year, but anything else?
You have any other questions?
No, I think it's cool, but
Yeah.
we're gonna have this paddling access.
Look like
That's
it'll be
great.
nice, won't it?
Yeah. Where is the other access, did you say?
For paddling?
For paddling.
Well, there are people who put in at Island Moorings Marina, and then Wilson's Cut, which
Mhm.
is I think it's privately owned, and a lot of paddlers don't like to go in there because there's a lot of boats and they don't really feel safe.
This will be
you know.
a good access for that.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, any other questions? Okay, do you have a motion approving the resolution?
Make a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the submission of the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department boating access grant applications for the design and permitting for a park with paddling access, authorizing matching funds not to exceed 84K for the fiscal year 25, and authorizing the city manager to act as an executive officer and authorizing representative of the city of all matters pertaining to the city's participation in the Texas Parks and Wildlife Grant Program.
I'll second. Oh. Dale.
All right, motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, Fran, please call the roll.
Councilmember Whitten,
Yes.
Mayor Tim Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford.
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item F is a resolution authorizing the submission of a Texas Parks and Wildlife Department recreational trails grant application for the construction and improvement of trails, authorizing matching funds not to exceed $675,000 for fiscal year 2025, and authorizing the city manager to act as the executive officer and authorized representative of the city in all matters pertaining to the city's participation in the Texas Parks and Wildlife Grant Program.
Okay, so we were encouraged to apply for this application as well. So we had a recreational trails grant a few years ago that helped build the first new section of the birding center boardwalk. And so this project is, so the matching funds for this would be the funds that AEP has already given us for the repairs to the walking trail around the community park, because the trucks damaged the sidewalk there after Hurricane Harvey. So these funds are also already budgeted. And we have so there's a map there. The first section of the trail out to the nature preserve behind the community park also has some damaged areas. And there's a bunch of cracks. Some of it was from fire trucks from back there during some fires and things like that. And the other thing is this section of trail is only 4 feet wide, because that was built with the community park, I believe, you know, in the first phase of all that. So we thought we could repair the sections that were cracked and widen the whole thing to 6 feet so that it matches all the other trails. It is kind of hard when you're on there with a stroller or a bicycle and people are walking when it's only 4 feet wide. So and then with the damages that happened kind of recently, that's like there's sections that are kind of just totally cracked off the side. So and then there would be a new trail connection so that people could kind of create a loop and connect back into the Paradise Pond community park trail connection over to Port Street. So that's the red line that David just drew, and then the green line in your drawing there. So the Rec Trails program is real big on connecting parks and people and safely getting to parks and connecting families and stuff. So that would get a few more neighborhoods connected back into there, and then also just providing that loop, and they don't have to go through the Port Street neighborhood or onto Cutoff Road. And you don't have to walk back the same place, you know, you can loop around and see something different. So yeah, that's just, again, part of the grant is we need a resolution authorizing the application and that we have the funds for the matching for the match, which in this case is the money for AEP from AEP. So if we could get this grant, it would be great.
Ride my bike back there quite a bit. What on the growth? How do we is there any kind of, I mean, it looks good. I don't mind it.
You mean the growth like in the 67, like that general area right there?
Right.
We do controlled burns every once in a while.
Yeah.
We're able to do a controlled burn and
We had someone so I was going to have another person go in there and treat the invasive plants with herbicide. But there's this plant, the white lead tree, that's really gotten out of control kind of over there. And so what I think we're gonna do is get it on a rotation of mowing it. Because it's, it's a lot, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've done fires back there.
It's gotten up pretty high and I just didn't know.
Yeah,
what
we've
the
done a lot of
what the
herbicide.
process was to,
Mhm.
if we manage it or keep it at one.
Or
keep it
her
at-
crews, if you'll know, if you've ever been on the one trail, the existing trail, they mow what, a 6-foot swath on each side?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah, yeah.
On the trails.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the nature preserve, I mean, that's not technically the nature preserve, but is no mow area, just for public access areas and things, so, but we have been trying to manage the invasive plants in that area, but we're working in a different area right now, and it's a lot of money and a lot of effort. So we might do some mechanical removal again.
And then the trail on the new green line, that's gonna be matching, so it'll also be a 6-foot trail.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be decomposed granite, concrete?
Oh,
What
yeah,
kind of
we're
material?
proposing yeah, concrete.
Like a
for
concrete
everything.
sidewalk, kind of,
Yeah.
okay.
It's just really maintenance friendly
Yeah.
for our staff, and we just mow the sides, and it's truly ADA compliant as well. If the granite starts loosening up,
Right.
it can be tricky for people, and then it washes away and there's weeds and stuff. So in this case, the concrete I think would be best.
Those areas back there, it's really nice. And especially that new section y'all do, because we
Oh,
ran an
yeah.
Max back there quite a bit. It's fun.
Awesome.
It's neat
Mhm.
what's been done.
Sure. So
Okay, any questions? Any other questions for Ray? All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a resolution authorizing submission of the recreational trails grant application for the construction and improvement of existing trails, authorizing matching funds not to exceed $75,000 for fiscal year 25.
All right,
I'll second it.
okay, motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Fran, we please call the roll?
Yes.
Chairperson Owen,
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen,
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, item G, our presentation from Broadus and Associates on Hurricane Harvey recovery. We need to write Broadus and Associates and Del Sol Consulting.
And you got a nice
Everybody.
nature preserve hat.
That's right, yeah.
Trucker hat.
Memento from this morning.
Good job.
Okay, I'm going to, evening, everybody. I'm going to brief 5 projects. You're on your pre-brief already. Next month, there'll only be 4 because one is dropping off. Start off with public safety. I know the big question is, when's it going to be done? When's it going to be done? I talked to the general contractor today, and he said it's mid-March. They're shooting for March 15th to have it basically done before Sparky and those guys can get in there and do all their, it's a very specialized building, so it's going to take a while. All the combo and security and antennas and all that. So they should start working on that mid-March.
On the IT part.
Yeah, the IT, I mean, they'll be able to go in and do what they need, starting mid-March.
Yeah, because spring break is the second weekend.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
We have 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks.
Two
yeah.
big weeks this year.
Speaking of spring break, there's 3 items really changes that were made. One of them was the detention doors to the cells. Y'all voted on several months ago. Those are expected to come in next week. Expected, hopefully. And we have some bullet resistant glass changes that's probably ordered today or tomorrow. They just got it from the architect. And some high-speed evidence lockers. So those are 3 big things that need to get done. And they're already painting inside. They got the primer and at least 1 coat on everything. So they're starting to kind of wrap up, but mid-March, Sparky and the Copa guys and maybe Peggy, I don't know, will be up in there doing their thing. And probably gonna take them a little while before Chief can actually move in. He told me it's only got like 5 or 6 hours or something to go from one building to the other, so it's gotta be ready to go when Chief actually goes in there. Next one is the fire station. It's going good. That should be done approximately the 3rd week of September, weather permitting. If y'all been by there and looked at it, they've been doing the CMU walls. It's taking shape. Basically the left side, the EMS side. Well, Daniel's not here. He's probably happy his side's getting done first every day. It's 5 foot at a time. So they've got the first 5 feet done, routed in, the second 5 feet, about 10 feet is done. Trucking along real well. Next week, they'll be going a lot slower because you can't do grout and concrete when it's
Cold.
30 degrees. It's got to be perfect conditions 40 and above. It's kind of moist here, so it's got to be closer to 50. So that's go down a little bit next week, but it's going really well. The gas distribution system, we had a big meeting today. Everything's going fine. There's going to be 2 change orders coming to the council soon, not tonight. First one is general conditions, basically time extension with logistics and the changes and things like that. And the second one is remaining scope items to start closing out the phases. There's 15 sub phases, 5 main phases. They'll start knocking them out pretty soon. The 4th project is Nature Preserve. Like I said, 10 o'clock this morning. Ray did a great job of awarding perfect weather. It was kind of blurry last couple of days, but it was really nice out there. It was well attended. Newspaper was there. The TV people were there. It was really well. And we had some Del Sol people here, and I took them to the end of the trail again.
Did you see the whooping crane?
Looking for Ray promises there's whooping cranes out there, but nobody's ever seen it from Del Sol, and Michael thinks it's more of a Sasquatch situation.
Oh, no.
So,
Oh.
yeah, with this telescope and all this, but I'll send them some pictures as soon as I see them. But it really went well. So that one's going to drop off this month. The last project is the new project. So Public Works Garage. The advertising went out last Thursday. It's going to be in the paper for the last Thursday plus 3 more, so 4 weeks in a row. And the bid opening is going to be in this room at 2 o'clock on Thursday, February 13th. So hopefully we'll have a qualified contractor to award February 13th, and we'll get that project going. Any questions? Pending any questions?
That'll give us, if it's awarded that day,
Yeah,
then
we'll
it'll
take
be on the
February
agenda.
meeting.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. Anybody, any other questions? No? Okay, thank you so much, Rob. Thank you guys for all your hard work. I love ribbon cuttings. Those are awesome. Okay, all right, next is item H, resolution ordering a joint general election and establishing procedures for said election to be held on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. The general election shall be for the purpose of electing 3 council members to fill positions place 1, 3, and 5, and providing other matters relating to the general election, and authorizing city secretary to enter into a joint election agreement with other local political subdivisions.
All right, so this election is going to be a joint election with the Port Aransas Independent School District. They are required to hold joint elections with other political subdivisions, so that's why we usually hold an election with them. It is a cost-effective too if they do go into the election. So a lot of times they don't, so we are stuck with footing the bill for that. But if they do, we pay half. Saturday, May 3rd, 2025 is our election date. It is going to be at the library this time. We are having some construction going on at the community center, so we're moving it to the library. We did start accepting applications for a place on the ballot yesterday. We have received 3 applications. Place 1, Karen Valentine. Place 3 is Councilmember Kruger, and place 5 is Councilmember Crawford. I will continue to send out press releases to the paper and to city council when we get new applicants in. We are currently looking for some election judges and clerks. So if you know anybody of the city that wants to be an election judge or clerk, please send them my way. We do have a student election clerk program. No one's ever participated in it, but I'm trying to get it out there for anybody that might be willing or tell their children that want to participate. They can do election day and early voting, but it has to be approved. They have to be at least 16, has to be approved by the principal, and a note from the parent saying that they can participate. They do get paid, so they will get paid $15 an hour, as well as our election judges and clerks, they will get paid as well. And for a full list of the qualifications and applications on our webpage. Important dates is going to be April 3rd is the last day to register to vote. The last day to apply for a ballot by mail is April 22nd. Early voting will be from April 22nd to the 29th, and the last day to receive a ballot by mail will be May 3rd, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. In my office. Do I have any questions about anything?
And filing opened yesterday.
Yesterday.
And closes on,
The 14th, so
Of
February
February.
14th. Yeah,
Okay.
February at 5 o'clock.
all right. Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to order a joint general election establishing procedures for said election to be held on Saturday, May the 3rd, 2025. The general election shall be for the purpose of electing 3 council members to fill positions 1, 3, and 5. So,
Okay.
Second.
No, perfect. We have a second. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. Fran, please call the roll.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Owens.
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
yes.
Councilmember Crawford.
Yes.
Councilmember Christensen.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Right, item H, resolution awarding request for proposal for the City of Port Aransas Community Center renovation and park restroom addition to North Star Elite Construction in the amount of $939,078. Funds from the Facility Fund number 115, authorizing future budget amendment for fiscal year 2024-2025 budget, and authorizing the city manager to act as the executive officer and authorized representative of the city in all matters pertaining to said bid award. I think this item we're going to pull and take no action. I feel like staff probably needs a little more time before we make a motion to approve the bids, such bids. So that is my action item. So I have a motion to do that,
To take no
to
action.
take no action,
Okay.
motion to take no action.
I'll make a motion to take no action.
I'll second.
That H or I?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, sorry.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Fran, will you please call the roll?
Christensen.
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford.
Yes.
Councilmember Chambers.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Owens.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitten.
Yes.
Mayor Moore.
All right,
Motion
yes.
carried.
Thank you. All right, item 7, city manager report.
Okay, update on the Charlie Special Bulkhead Certificate of Obligation. So the 45-day public comment period has ended. I don't think there were any comments, no comments. So the next steps we do is next week we have a call with Standard & Poor's, S&P. Mark McCliney and or Andrew will be on that call. So it's basically, it's a questionnaire where they ask just the financial and economic indicators of the city, how we're doing, what we look like. Once we get past that, the bond sale will be advertised. Sale and award of the bonds will take place in February, with the money being available early March. At that time, we will finalize the design contract with EDSA and their team, and then we can just start going full bore into the project design. And so once we get a little bit further, we'll have a timeline for you guys of what we think the construction timeline will be, and when we think actual bid will take place. That's the next steps.
Okay.
Update on the 89th legislation. So Tuesday, the House of Representatives selected their Speaker of the House, Representative Burrows from Lubbock. He was chosen. I think there were 36 Republicans that went and joined up with the Democratic side, 100% of the Democratic side, and they chose Speaker Burrows. So I think Todd Hunter's in a good path to get some good chairmanship jobs. So I think we'll have a strong legislative cycle. A lot of stuff will be on it. Over 2,000 bills have already been filed. Our bill's about at 99%. We've got it fully drafted. Our ledge people are looking at it. We have to figure out a way to isolate the city with some verbiage, but we should have it finished into Todd's group probably by middle of next week. So moving on that. More to come. The chamber's already set our date for Port Day. Mayor, you know that'll
March 5th, yeah.
March 5th.
Mhm.
On a Wednesday.
So whether or not we'll need, there'll be a lot of, like we said earlier, there'll be a lot of attacks on cities. So whether or not we're going up there to play defense on some of these things, that'll be determined over the next couple months. So if anyone's wanting to go, I'll keep you posted, and we can make trips up to Austin as needed. So that's about it on that. Animal shelter location. The delineation is completed and is at the core. We met on it today, had some discussions today. We do need to alter two of the diagrams that we submitted on our report. So we have to get those edited, but as soon as we get those altered and back to the core, not sure what their timeline is on them responding to the delineation for the airport property, but they do not move fast. So it'll be a hurry up and wait situation on that. So but at least it's in their hands now. Beach Access Road 1B. Nicole and I and the GLO, what was her name? Michelle. She's our GLO dune permitting. She just do the Central Texas, or is she all Texas coast? All Texas coast. And Stephen, we met out on site. We had it was just one dune that we felt was left off the original dune permit. So they're going to get that added, and then we're going to get it back to P&Z for a quick update. And then and when do you think we'll have? Yeah.
Give those provisions to us when we get those back to her, comments from them are due back on 30th of January. So we're planning ahead for the February meeting.
Yeah, and then once we have that, we got plans are ready, and we'll be out to bid.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Any other questions for David?
We are watching the temperatures. We're looking at, they keep raising it. It was like 28 degrees on Monday, then it was 31, 32 yesterday. Now it's up to 34, I think, is our low. So we'll see. Yeah.
Out there on the Charlie's pasture, what we're gonna do, is there any plan to make it a little nicer till now, like get the sand off the sidewalk somehow?
No. Would you like us to?
Yes.
I mean, we built that nice thing and
Where'd Ray go?
I've talked to them a little bit about
Yeah.
that for a while, and I think that they've had a hard time finding a machine that will
we'll fit
do the
between
job,
bollards.
fit between the bollards and then do the, I mean, there's places
I mean,
within the
it's
bollards,
a
but
manual-
it's
basically
gonna
a
have to be probably manual
To go.
without messing
You're
up the
talking just the
sidewalks.
blow sand
The blow sand.
that goes
but
up,
you can't- You
right?
can't walk along this. bulkhead.
Sidewalks, yeah. The sidewalks are
And if
blocked.
it's still gonna be a while,
It's gonna be a while. You don't like the natural look?
Of sand covering the sidewalks?
of sand covered sidewalks.
Is it a losing battle though? I mean, is it gonna just blow back in or?
It's gonna blow back.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's no cover on it. We attempted grass. It just, you're not planting grass out there. It's just a full-on maintenance. It'd be just a maintenance war. We can attempt it and see how bad it
But
is.
there's no roller sweeper we can roll on that and just kick it
Well,
back
I
out
mean,
like it
we don't wanna, we're not gonna. Let me look into it.
Okay.
It's a possibility that we could have an attachment purchased on one of our little Bobcats. As long as it doesn't tear the wall up.
Right. Good driver.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll look at it. Like a brush attachment.
A mini street sweeper. Sidewalk sweeper is what we need. Sidewalk. Okay. Any other questions for David? Thoughts? Okay, all right.
Well,
Oh.
tank and all that still in moving forward with that date?
The well,
Mhm.
yeah, it's been drilled. We drilled 2. The cistern's over there. It's big. All we need to do is tie in the electric, but we should have water soon. I think we'll be producing water by, I think Colleen said end of next week. That'll give us about 5,000 gallons a day that we can, disperse amongst needed vegetation. Luckily, we've had some rain the last couple of weeks, so,
That's been good.
Mhm.
but it's close.
If
And
someone-
the mayor and I attended an interesting talk on the region's water issues.
Mhm.
Last week, we went to the Coastal Bend, it's a kind of a small town mayor's group. It's mainly Sampat, but it was a very interesting discussion from John Michael, who's the lead engineer. It was Naismith, now it's
Hanson.
Hanson. Pretty interesting topic about the history of the region's water and, how, what's the right way to move forward and, the outlook and what stage 4 looks like. So it was pretty interesting,
Mhm.
pretty scary.
Yeah, we need water.
I mean, more people getting water wells.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have some. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. Anything else? All right, we'll move on to staff reports. Darla, you're up first, ma'am.
Have a written report in your packet. And I had an error in a formula at Harbor, so I put new indications there at your desk. The hotel tax for the month of collections for December that are actually for November tax were up a little over 7.6%. So we're down around 15% for the first 3 months of the fiscal year, which are smaller months during the year. So not to panic by any means. Sales tax for the same corresponding period was up a little over 2% for the month, down a little less than 2% for the first 3 months of the year. Harbor activities are down for the quarter, and golf carts are so busy. We did 728 in the month of December compared to 385 last year, but we're really, I don't even know what number they were on today. It's crazy how many people people are coming in earlier and earlier trying to get those every year. But the auditors were here last week doing preliminary work, and they will be here to do field work the last week of February. So I anticipate getting the audit out to you in a timely manner this year.
Wow.
It's very exciting. Hopefully at the March meeting, if not March, April. But yes, I'm very well pleased. So we could finish the audit, maybe have a little breathing room before we start budget. Be good for the finance department. So
Indeed.
if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Okay, you went over it real quickly, Darla, but what was the difference between the Harbor page in our booklet and the one you dropped at the desk?
The one you dropped at the desk, I did not keep a copy for myself.
Yep.
It looks the same, but that's just a
It
quick
is
glance.
at the daily. The daily was actually down. My formulas in the daily transient rent, the percentage of change compared to last year,
Mhm.
my formulas were not correct.
Oh,
I said it
okay.
was down 4% for the year to date, and Chuck did the math and he's correct. It was 26%. I was referring to a wrong page on my formula. So it's really down 26% for the
Yes,
fiscal year
okay.
to date for the daily.
Okay, so just
rentals.
the miss in that formula. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The numbers were the correct in the transient, but the formulas were not correct for the percentage of change for the year.
But these reports are, I know the hotel motel and sales tax lag behind, but these are the true 3 months, October, November, and December, correct?
They're the true months of what we bill in
Right, okay.
October for monthly. We
Right,
bill once a quarter
for the, right,
for the monthly.
Right.
Reason we had a 29,000 adjustment, some people got duplicated, double billed. And
paid?
she had to do it correct. They did not pay it. They noticed that they
I
got
noticed that they
billed.
got-
And the only way to get that out of the
you gotta get
Stock Master, we had to do an entry for that. But the daily is what's actually paid for the daily at Transient Rentals for those first 3
sure, okay,
months.
just making sure, so. Well, I can't believe that we're down that much with that fabulous new Harbor Master Marina facility.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Where are people going? It's too cold or something, I don't know, maybe. Anyway,
Well, our facility rentals are up, but I don't.
I know, but you still want to come and be there.
Right.
I mean, it's lovely.
These are
down there.
just slips, so.
Just the slips. All right. Any other questions for Darla? Okay, we will move on. And next we have BJ. Welcome to the party. He's going to give us an animal shelter report.
Hello, BJ Grimes, the lead animal control officer. Basically, it's just kind of like a list of new programs, accomplishments, thanks to our volunteers and stuff like that. One new program I want to do is called like a doggy day out. A lot of cities are doing this and a lot of humane societies. Basically, somebody will come, they can fill like a short application, so it's not like as a lengthy process as a volunteer application, because those require background check, take a little longer. People can take out the dogs for a day, take them to the beach, things like that, do like more social media forms so we get more exposure. It's also been known to limit like kennel stress, because all these dogs here and most shelters, when you come, you look at them, they're all barky, they're crazy. But when I take them on a leash, they're just fine. So it's been proven that it has decreased that and has brought up adoptions more because they're out in the public more. Our volunteers try to get them out as much as they can, and I try as well. But throughout the day, we have other things to take care of. Unfortunately, we can't spend all day. I wish we could. So we'll basically give people backpacks full of like Adopt Me vests, Alicia says Adopt Me, and things like that. So we'll do more social media blasts. Hopefully we can get more adoptions going that way. Another program that I would like to do is like a vaccine microchip clinic for the community. I know Connie Bean with Animal Friends Port Aransas does this, but she does it, throughout the year. I would like to make it maybe once like a quarter or something like that to help out the public, because vaccines can cost, vet costs are high. It's not cheap to go to a vet. Same with, I also want to start maybe a spay and neuter program to help people with that cost, because spays and neuters can cost hundreds of dollars. Not everybody can afford that. And we can either do that, many ways, doing like an income base. People can submit the application and maybe we can do something, we'll cover, 50% of it, 25, 75, go on an income basis. Not sure how that would look. We can talk about it, try to figure out. Because it also help out with the number of animals that get dumped. Can't make more puppies if everybody's fixed. So that's one thing I would like to do. One thing I want to do is try to get the schools more involved. Gulf Coast Humane Society does kind of a program where the kids come to read to the cats and the dogs. They pick a day where they can do that. So I'd like to maybe
Aw,
pick a day to where we can go in the yard with the dogs, or they can come to the cat kennels and the kid can read. Kind of get the school more involved, get the kids wanting to read some more. I would like to do like a revamp of our volunteer program. Right now, you can only be 18 to volunteer. There are a lot of high schoolers that want their Marlins in action hours. And one thing we can do with that is maybe get Mr. Pewitz and their, the shop crew and build benches for the dogs to lay in, pools, things like that. They can help clean up the yards or help with adoption events, run the table, get people information and stuff like that. So that's something I would like to look into. That's just a list of programs that I would like to do in the future. I would like to thank our amazing group of volunteers and fosters that we have now, along with the local vet, because they've helped us out tremendously. Especially my volunteers, they started a 501c3, Salty Falls Port Aransas, that has helped us out tremendously with programs for the shelter, new improvements and things like that, without them, the city may have been able to accomplish, but it would take a lot longer because the city process is a lot longer. Things that they've done, they've built new shade structures for the shelter. They've helped divide our play yards, so where we can have more exposure for these dogs and make it easier for them to socialize and things like that. The volunteers I would like to name is Councilwoman Joe Kruger, Brenda Porter, Greg Ashley, Collins Ashley, Carolyn Harris, Emily Dottie, Kathy Harshman, and then our local vet staff who has helped us out tremendously. Any last minute emergencies we've ever needed, they've been right there. Dr. Paula Baker, Dr. Bill McGeehee, Dr. Alex David, Riley Gonzalez, Kimberly Vaughn, Allison Hartman, Kathy Klein. She's no longer with us,
Right.
but she helped us out tremendously. Sheila Sertis and Tony Jones. We've also been partnering with Gulf Coast, who has helped us out with our heartworm treatments, because that is not cheap. They, as far as I know, it has been no cost to the city. I've not heard anything about it. And we've had 4 dogs go through heartworm treatment so far. Working on the 4th one, we're getting an appointment set up. Because when people want to adopt dogs, if it's heartworm positive, a lot of people can't cover that cost. So those dogs get overlooked. So if that's something we can provide, which Gulf Coast has helped us out with, we've had 4 animals that have heartworm positive going to treatment. One is adopted. It's Sandy. She's an Australian Shepherd mix. She's adopted. We're hoping to get her started in treatment come February. some of our main accomplishments of 2024, we found 89 animals new homes. We also returned 40 animals back to their owners this year. Our goals for 2025, like everywhere else, I'm hoping to have a better year. Hopefully more adoption events. I want to try to do one maybe once every few months or so. Try to do more social media blasts. I'm the one that does all our social media on Facebook and things like that. So I want to try to get some more involved with, we have a Facebook account. I'd like to maybe get an Instagram account because a lot of social media is a big factor in drawing people in. So I want to try to get more social media exposure for the shelter. Also, I want to try to do more community outreach for spay neutering, making sure it's important that the community knows that get your pet spayed neutered. Also, it help get our microchips because a lot of times we have a dog running loose, no collar, no microchip. It's hard to find an owner because not everybody follows our Facebook page. Not everybody's on Facebook. With a microchip, if you register it, I look it up, I find the owner. Unfortunately, most microchips aren't registered because people don't understand that. A lot of people think microchips are GPS trackers. They're not. It's just a number. If you don't register it, it's useless. Pretty much that's we also started a program for be able to report coyotes, a lot of more public outreach to learn how to coexist. Unfortunately, you're not going to get rid of coyotes. It's something we're going to have to try to adapt to and live with. So I want to do more programs, more outreach. For that, we do have it where they can report it online. You can go to the city website, you make a report, an email goes to me, an email goes to Lawrence. I believe an email goes to Chief. Not sure on that one, I think so though. And basically once they do a report, a lot of our reports have been mostly being seen in the dunes. That's normal. We can't really do anything about them going in and out of the dunes. But if it's somebody's house, we'll go and I'll ask them, we'll do what's called a yard audit. I'll go in their yard. I'll make sure that they don't have any loose, if they have boards in their fences, nothing's loose. They're not leaving their trash receptacles open, anything that can, lure the coyotes in. And then I'll ask them if they want me to set traps. If we want to set a trap, we'll go that route. We'll check it, bait it, try to catch a coyote. Catching coyotes aren't very successful in this area. They're very smart. So we try. But that's basically a roundabout what 2024 has been, and I'm hoping 2025 will be. So.
Well, I think you've gotten a lot accomplished. You've done a great
know.
job, BJ.
You've done a
So
great job.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Really, really
Yeah.
good job.
We wouldn't be anything without volunteers. They
Yeah.
helped out tremendously.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. I have a quick question for you. So, I love that your goals, and I think those are all great. I know that when we've met with the county before, they've indicated that they'll be willing to help with a lot of these things. And so, have you had any other contact with them or reach out with them to see about them coming
I
and
haven't
helping?
reached out to anybody from the county.
Okay.
I can email them. I haven't met personally with anybody from the county.
Okay.
I know we've talked about it, but I've never personally talked to any of them.
Okay, good.
myself. Gulf
What's
Coast,
their construction? Are they under construction yet?
I think so. I think they've definitely started their construction on their facility, but their animal control officer, which we met
Yeah,
with a while
yeah.
back, was just fairly new, but very eager to work with you, and all the people in the Nueces County,
and,
proper to help.
And I would be more than willing to work with
Yeah.
them, but I can guarantee you they're gonna fill up like that, because we do the county, but
Sure.
I would love to be able to work out where we'll share each other's Facebook posts, because maybe there's, an animal that's in the Nueces County one that someone from might like, and vice versa. So basically cross-referencing our social medias, that's also what we've been doing with Gulf Coast. If I know somebody that wants a dog that's at Gulf Coast, I'll reach out to Gulf Coast, say, hey, I've got somebody that may be interested in one of your dogs. I'll email them, and vice versa. So even working with Gulf Coast, I would be open to working with anybody that'd be willing to help out.
And I think not only, like you said, I know space is an issue everywhere, right? And even if their new facility's done, it's going to fill up. But I think even with some of your goals about getting things spayed and neutered, or, I almost swear that they mentioned something about whether it was the county or one of the other organizations that they partner with that had a mobile clinic that could come over and help. I know it's hard for us to transport dogs, obviously to Corpus to do those things, but if there's an organization in Corpus that's got a mobile clinic that could come and, like you said, once a quarter, once a month or whatever.
The local vet here, they have a new little mobile clinic that the
Mhm.
owner, Dr. McGee, he got, and he helped us out. We did a big spay and neuter day with a whole bunch of our
Perfect.
kittens.
Yeah.
And that's something he wants to do about every quarter, try to come down here, because he resides in Austin, I believe. I
Uh-huh.
think that's where he lives. So he tries to come down and he wants to start doing that once a quarter with like our smaller animals because a lot of times a vet, they don't want to spay or neuter an animal when it's not about, they want to wait till about 6 months.
True.
But and most shelter medicine and most shelter vets will do it about 4 pounds. And then once a cat reaches 4 pounds and a dog reaches about 4 months. Basically on an adoptability process because we want to try to get these animals out as they're already altered. We don't want to try to get them back in, trying to make an appointment because it's hard. You know, life happens. It's hard to get an appointment sometimes. So we try to want to have all our animals vaccinated and fixed before they head out that door, so there's no issues. But yeah, no, with Gulf Coast, basically the way I transport, if it's dogs, if the dogs get along well, they can ride in the truck with me. But you know, we got that little, our animal control truck, they fit in the truck 2 at a time. Cats, I can stack a lot of cats in cat. Dogs, on the other hand, we only have big dogs, we don't have little dogs. So it's usually about 2 dogs at a time when I take them over to Gulf Coast to do anything. So.
Well, continue the hard work. Great job. Let us know what we can do to help.
Have
Thank
you
you,
gotten the
appreciate it.
quarantine room set up since you got the
We're
portable
almost
office?
fully ready.
Okay,
We got
That's
some
good.
last little touch up stuff to do in there, but we've already used it for 1 cat so far. So
that's good.
it's a work in progress. It's going.
I know.
Well, good.
Thank you, BJ.
Of course.
All right.
Guys.
You did a
Thank
great job with
you.
your report.
Thanks for coming.
All right, Lawrence, you are next, sir.
Really excited about the Breeds and Animals program. I'm gonna take the city code book up there and get comfy and start from the charter and go through the whole thing with them.
Gonna read it to the animals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure out what section we start on.
Make them go right to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Run away.
Start
Don't read our animal chapter to them. It might scare them.
with fees and fines and yes, animals at large definition. Airport expansion. Contractor is working on spreading and compacting the existing earth pile material that's located on the east side. That's being worked into the taxiway extension and apron extension. Ditch box culverts has been installed and a change order has been approved for adding 8 inches of cement stabilized subgrade to the runway and taxiway. That will prevent gulfer infiltration from undermining our new construction. Also, we're going to be putting a layer of coal tar seal coat that will be added to the existing taxiway and runway areas to do some preventative maintenance on the old asphalt.
And the flags that you see are not University of Tennessee flags. They're FAA required safety flags.
Okay.
We've been getting
Right, Mayor?
That's correct.
So
Yeah.
planes don't get
Correct. Yes.
when they're flying that low.
also we got signs up, right?
Yeah.
For the fishermen. Give you a little update on that. We've been having to ask them not to enter a work zone because it's dangerous, right? So we've been dealing a little bit with that. But I think it's been being handled pretty well. You know, we had some people come in and so.
Yeah, if they can get to it from the north side, like from the Palladium side and walk over, it's okay, but we can't have them. Both the GLO and the FAA said we can't have anyone cutting through the airport work zone, so.
Liability.
When will that be done, you think? If everything keeps-
It's about a 4 to 5 month, it's about a 5-6 month project.
Lifeguard facility, EDR is working on the plans currently. She's gonna be getting me a design schedule here soon. Hazard mitigation drainage fund phase 2 bid advertisement. It's out. Sealed bids are due January 23rd, 3 p.m. That's for doing drainage. It's gonna be excavation or dredging of Avenue J essentially, but we're also taking bids for Key, Wade and Lane across from there. We'll see where that comes in. Substantially completed at Community Center Neighborhood Park, working on some punch list items there. I think it looks pretty good. Fire EMS station, concrete foundation is completed, CMU block being installed, filled with grout, apron and grading going on. Doing some utility work out there. Early finish date for that is September 24th, 2025 at this point.
Really? I mean, I'm sorry.
I did say at this
Not
point.
trying to be the Debbie Downer, and
Yeah.
I wish our friends from Del Sol and Broadus were here, and I really, really, really hope for fire and EMS that it's September, but
Yeah.
wow,
I know.
it's a lot.
It's so that's for phase 1. There is a phase 2, which would take about a month, but it's that's for a demo of the building to the south.
Right.
But yeah, we have not received change orders yet for, you know, the weather delays, and obviously there's a lot going on. So yeah, you can anticipate probably another 3 weeks, probably a month by the time we get to September,
3 weeks from now's fine. I just don't want it to be February 2026.
But that's the date that they put on their little progress
Okay,
report at this
good.
moment.
All
So
right.
it's
Well,
on
we're gonna
report of the
we're
year.
gonna stay with them, Lawrence.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Nature Preserve North Trail Boardwalk completed, grand opening today. ADA inspection passed. Nature Preserve Restore Grant, staking and pilings for observation areas completed for Clay Hill Trail. That's what we're looking at today with the guys out there. Observation area structures are underway and will be completed mid-February. Concrete work underway for Clay Hill Nature Trail until about mid-February. Leanna Bowl parking lot site work to begin first week of March. Concrete curb and gutter work will begin the same time. Work scheduled to be completed around April 30th for the parking lot. Baller and cable extensions will begin mid-March and go through mid-May with a completion around May 12th. Public safety building, they're still working away over there, doing sidewalks, finish out work, ceiling grid, door hardware, things of that nature. I know Rob mentioned our early finish. I think he said I have, I have March 7th.
Yeah, he had March 15th, I think.
Yeah, it might be 15th at this point. But what he didn't mention is that we are counting on doing a temporary certificate of occupancy. February 15th is what we're pushing for to allow early move-in, essentially.
Of some items, but not,
Right.
we still have all the IT to get in.
Yeah, and they have a lot of furniture they need to order, so hopefully all that stuff can get taken in, and that's just a chunk of it completed. So we will keep monitoring and pushing for that. Public Works Building, 100% design has been received. Bids are due February 21st. Street and drainage bond, Port Street asphalt overlay is near completed. They're stabilizing it, and asphalt will be next. Nice Street has been formed for concrete. That will be coming soon. We got a lot of the utility work done in the alley over there. Basically AEP and overhead communications need to go underground, so a lot of work's going on in that alley for that to occur. Gas department building pad work for the foundation is almost completed. 12 of the 16 piers are drilled and poured. Early finish for that is August 18th. Are there any questions?
So the gas department building that they're in there now, you're still looking to move that after you can get Muni.
Yeah, we're looking
Moved,
at,
right.
so we're figuring out if it's, what the best way to move them is. Probably right now, what we're leaning towards is moving them over adjacent to the Parks and Rec little mini building that we just put in. That's probably the best bet. We can get over there. They have room to lay stuff out. Then that frees up the parking lot back here for the city hall expansion. So we're still kind of playing around with what our timeline looks like.
Yeah, that'll be good. Getting everyone moved around. Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? For Lawrence? No? Okay, great job. Okay, all right. Nicole, you are up next.
So this is all in your packet. We ended the year with 183 building permits, which is just about where I thought that was going to be. So it's 183 new residential in comparison to 192 from last year, which was coming down from our COVID high. So the short-term rentals, last year we ended with 3,076, which was up about 300 from the year before. This year so far, we have a little over 2,100 that have paid. Laura goes through each one of those to make sure that they don't have open building permits, that they don't have any kind of issues. So she has approved, as of this report, 601. That has gone up to closer to 900 now. So she still has about 1,600 pending. Her short-term rental inspections at this point, she doesn't do any because she's just so busy dealing with all of those registrations. So once she gets the majority of those registrations done in process, she'll begin that again. We had no complaints last year and I mean, last month, and we obviously have 0 complaints year to date so far. So we're starting on a good note. Code enforcement cases, we had 20 for the month of December. Again, our brush piles are the biggest issue we have. There's probably 7 additional ones that he has had to reach out to just in the last couple of weeks. And we're still a month away. So right now we're just handling that as a courtesy notice. I don't know really when to start any kind of citation process. Because it is really difficult for people to only have that pickup every other month now.
And so when you're calling these people, are they picking it up and taking it to the collection station? Are they?
We're getting some
Right.
people that are complying and responding and, but I would say the majority, no.
They're just leaving it there
They're
for,
just leaving it there until the next brush pickup day, which like I said, right now is another month away.
Yeah.
So right now it's not the biggest issue, but you know, once it gets closer to hurricane season, closer to the busy season, it's
Mhm.
gonna be a pretty big deal. So we'll kind of have those conversations on when to kind of take more appropriate action.
What's
And
the fee for a front end loader to go pick it up from their house? $1,500? Do we have that fee?
probably not.
You like it on the agenda next month?
I don't know. Staff can kick it around.
I mean.
Well, we
so
wouldn't
what-
do that. I
what we
mean,
do-
worst case scenario, we would just hire a.
What we do
landscape
with
company.
mowing is, when people don't mow their yards in a timely fashion, we hire a mower to go out and mow the lawn and they charge us and we charge the people and we put a lien on their property. So it would be something similar to that.
Yeah, we would just hire a landscape firm to go, we
Pick 'em
would
up.
give them their certified letter and then eventually we would just hire the landscape. And then we would lien the house.
Right. And so typically when we do that, that involves citations and then that follow-up as well.
It's
Um,
possible.
I don't have the other sheet in front of me. I can't remember what else we were updating on. Wayfinding signs. We continue to meet weekly. We stopped that during the holiday season a little bit. The girl that is the head at Comet Signs is very pregnant with a baby too.
Oh.
So we're battling with that. They had a little mix up in their department where they lost our wood samples. So they had to redo those, which put us a little bit behind. They are currently working on some engineering fixes for some attachments and some of the internal workings of some of the signs. So they still think we're probably about 4 weeks away from the prototypes that we have approved so far. In the meantime, they are working with Colleen to begin on the lifeguard towers for the painting and re-signage of those. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow, so if anybody wants an update after that meeting, feel free to reach out to me. Our first workshop meeting with P and Z for our regular city ordinance sign update is going to be at next week's meeting. So I am hoping that some of you will volunteer to come to that meeting and be a part of our group.
What day is that?
It's going to be Thursday, the 23rd at 3 p.m. I have reached out to some people that I think are stakeholders in the community, some business owners, some real estate people. I've got a couple of good people that have agreed to come and be a part of that. I am going to call and hound some other people, maybe over the weekend, to see if I can get them to come as well. Newspaper did a story on it, so the general public is aware and obviously invited to come put their input in as well.
Super. All right. Any other questions for Nicole? Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. All right. EMS report. Elliot, welcome.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We made it another year,
Yeah.
Including one patient I wanted to actually start this report off with. Kind of a feel good story. So I know we're going over December and this happened in January, beginning of the year. But we had an elderly gentleman go into cardiac arrest at Roosevelt's. Our crews were there within 5 minutes to deliver the first shock. And then we shocked him 3 more times. Started a IO needle, which is basically a bone drill into his bone to give him a bunch of life-saving medication. He ended up getting out of the hospital last week and he's back home with his family. So
awesome.
the crews did a really good job. And my point of this is I wanted to bring them up next month and maybe give them a life-saving award in front of
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Very
great.
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. just
Was
kind
it
of
a resident?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I know you're
Yeah, sure.
HIPAA
was.
laws,
Yeah,
you can't
HIPAA,
give us all
everything,
the
but
stuff,
yeah.
but I mean, it was someone who
It
was,
was a really good call. And, there were some off-duty medical personnel that actually started CPR, which ultimately I think that's probably, early CPR saves lives, but they stopped by after and they let me know and they let Daniel know how proficient all of our medical crew seemed on the call. So that's kind of a
Good.
double win.
Good.
you know?
Pat on the back. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
that's great news.
So anyways, on to December. We had 68 calls we were dispatched to, a total of 1240, so 1,240 for the year. With the average response time of 4 minutes and 56 seconds. It was a little up this month because we were dispatched to the wrong address, I believe on the 22nd, and that cost us 29 minutes till we found the right address.
Oh.
So that bumped it up a little bit. Total transports was 37. Of course, most of them to Bay. Treated and transported was 26. And of course, we offer transport to everybody who calls 911, but sometimes they see us show up with a bunch of bags and our equipment and license sirens, and they realize that maybe the sinus drainage wasn't, a call for an ambulance to take an ambulance out of town for 2 hours. So those are the 26 usually, or a stomach ache or something of that nature. We had one false alarm cancel call. It was a mutual aid. They ended up canceling us on the way. 0 standbys, 1 public assist or lift assist, and then 3 mutual aid, and a total of 30 for the year. So that's quite a bit to go over to Tri-County's area and help them out. Of course, this time of year, our call volume drops, but we remain busy with other involvement in the city, all the holiday stuff. So we had the Christmas parade, the lighted boat parade, the toy roundup, and then the fireworks standby. We also met with CBRAC to go over whole blood. And I don't know if you all are familiar, but we're planning on rolling out whole blood soon within the next few months. So we presented our protocol, our equipment, and discussed with some of the other EMS agencies in the area how we're going to do it. And we're kind of spearheading the whole operation. So they invited us to give a presentation to their board of directors. And I guess we gave a pretty good presentation because they awarded us about $20,000 to go to our blood funding. So they're going to purchase all of our blood warmers and the life flow guns to infuse the blood into people. And they liked our presentation so much, they invited us to do a presentation on behalf of the city of Port Aransas at the hurricane conference for other EMS agencies, which is cool, but it conflicts with our EMS conference here. So I don't think we're going to be able to do it this year, unfortunately.
Is that the one in New Orleans?
No, here, the one that we have here.
But it
No,
conflicts
you
with
mean
their
the-
Nueces County Hurricane Conference?
Oh.
Oh, that's a bad,
Yeah, bad timing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's too late to change ours, so
Yeah.
we're just gonna have to do it next year.
I thought the county one was always in late May.
It's usually,
They changed it this year. It usually is, but
Right,
they
yeah.
moved it up.
Oh, they
a
moved
week
theirs
or
up?
two.
Oh.
Yeah. So
When
it's
is y'all's
unfortunate.
conference? It's May the,
Usually around May the 10th
I need to put
ish.
that down.
Yeah.
So I can feed you guys.
Right, thank you, yeah. Well, then I'll get the exact dates for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Tell Danielle to text me.
I
That way I
will.
put it on the calendar.
Okay, sure will, yeah. Yeah, so anyways, we can't do that anymore, but let's see. And right now, the only thing that they're waiting on is the ERs in the area, so like Shoreline and Bay Area, they have to get on board so we can do a rotation with them. Which that's the only thing we're waiting on. And then of course our equipment. But we estimate we'll probably, so based on other cities, they have anywhere from a 50 to a 98% save rate with whole blood. So just based on the patients that needed it last year, which were 12 last year and the year before 15. If we could save half those, that would be 6 more moms, dads, sons, brothers that might get saved. So it's definitely 100% worth it. Let's see. Oh, and then last thing is we did a simulation with Shoreline. It was a paramedic simulation that they have a lot of high-tech equipment there, and they wanted us to run through a bunch of sim labs. So we did, and it turned out being more of like an obstacle course. then a simulation lab. So we learned a lot. It was fun, but it was basically like a EMS obstacle course, a lot of like running and moving and stuff like that. So me, Daniel, and then Paul Jackson participated in that. That was fun. So that's pretty much all I got. The whole blood thing's super exciting. And then of course, anytime you get to save a life, that's amazing. That's why we do it.
Mhm.
Really cool.
Yeah,
Good for you.
good job.
Thank you. Any questions for me that I can answer?
Yeah, do you have a question, Miss Daly?
Tell people about Halo Flight, because there's a program where people can sign up for Halo Flight cheaply if they're.
So I don't know exactly what the program is, but I would probably recommend just going on their website and looking at the program.
If you any seats go up,
Mhm.
they get you, if you're with them, you get a special rate.
Yeah, so again, I don't know what the program they have is. And then whole blood is just how it sounds. It's basically out of him or him and into you. So it's got 2-day testing, just to check for antibodies and make sure you have the right match blood. And then it goes in a bag. We get the bag and we give it to the patient.
So is it through the Corpus Christi Blood Center?
Yes, yeah, we're gonna partner with them. Yes, ma'am.
So when you donate, you could donate whole blood or something.
Correct. And what they pick what your blood is best used for. So if you might be A positive, we can't give that to someone.
Right.
Most of the population is O positive. So that might go to plasma or platelets or something else. But if you are O positive, low titer, that's the blood we want on our ambulances, because that's what we can give universally to everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay,
Okay, all right. Well,
thank
thanks
you
for
very
having me up here.
much.
Happy
We
New Year.
appreciate, yeah,
Happy New Year.
absolutely. Okay, it looks like last but not least is the police report. Come on up, sir.
Evening,
Welcome.
everybody. So we'll get into our calls for service. We had 1,606 calls for the police department that were dispatched. 344 were 911 calls. Ellie gave the EMS numbers. We had 10 for the fire department. I think most of that was that fire that happened. And over at Harbor Island, and then 18 calls for animal control. We had 18 total arrests, and about a third of those were for alcohol related incidents. The rest were warrants, and the remaining were drug related. 64 citations were issued. The highest percentage offense was speeding. They issued 13 speeding tickets. Only had one golf cart related citation. That was for a golf cart on the highway. So that's pretty good. Not a lot of golf cart violations. Have all of our 7 dispatch positions filled, and then 22 of our 24 police officer positions filled. We had Monty Allen working for us, and he took the constable position. And then we have a patrol officer that made a lateral move over to our detective group. So that's good for us in that we're not losing people to anybody. Monty got elected, but no one's quitting or anything like that. It's very difficult right now throughout the US and even in Texas to recruit for police departments. However, we've been pretty successful, which is good on the city. We went out and did a little bit of non-traditional marketing for this last recruiting effort. We went through some law enforcement social media sites and put out a flyer that had our specific value propositions related to the city. It got a really good response. Particularly the community itself and the support that our police department gets, pay scale, our equipment that we have. And then also the training we're getting when Chief Stokes took over, we're doing a lot of more progressive training. And then also we've begun doing some officer wellness initiatives. We're in the very infant stages, but all that was really well received. And we've got a number of people interviewing tomorrow that are actually really good applicants, and the majority are outside the coastal bend, which is kind of different for us. We usually we kind of do like PD hopping a little bit, but it's good to get people outside and they're coming to the area. emergency services toy roundup. The donations were lower, but still were able to help 75 families total, and then 153 children within those 75 families. So very successful. And then I mentioned the wellness. So we purchased a wellness app from a company called Lexipol. They do a lot of different services for other PDs, and one of the things they provide is a wellness app. Primarily, its function is to address if officers need mental health outreach. They can do that confidentially through the app, and they give them peer-to-peer support and then also some clinician support, psychiatrists, things like that. Additionally, there are different things in there for fitness, for financial well-being, and then also family support too. So that's just kind of like one of the things we're trying to go down, and it's kind of a hot topic and needed for our profession. And Chief addressed that, and it's, like I said, been well received by people that are looking to work here, but also by our current officers and staff. It's for the whole department, dispatchers, our civilian staff, everybody. So, and that's all I had. Unless anyone has any questions.
You ready to be in that new building?
Right.
We are looking forward to it. We appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you giving the report. Any other questions?
No? Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Always good to continue to see you back every time I see you. Exciting. Okay. All right. Item 9, city council comments and items for future consideration. All right, hearing none, we're adjourned. It was, hey, we split it in the middle. 6:25.
We said 6:20.